piece of
You're
news
live
before
on
you
the internet.
Hi, Internet.
before you get into your story.
Uh-huh.
Julia decided to resign for another year.
Oh, very good.
So that's one thing off my plate. Massive thing off my plate. She's staying.
That's good. You kind of had a feeling she was going to.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's official. She's
that's
staying.
good. Official is good.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause
official
you
is necessary.
You know, I was pretty sure
I was struggling.
I was pretty sure I had that Portland Gin brand signed, and no, I didn't. So
Right, yeah.
So, until that shit's official, no, it's not.
You didn't cough at all.
I know, not one bit.
Well, that's how it goes, isn't it?
No. So something I've been talking about doing for a little while, Mel, I finally actually did. There's a lot of my TikTok will be people playing records and stuff like that. A lot of 90s stuff, things that I really enjoy, music that I really enjoy. The main guy, his page is called Life Has Surface Noise, and I really enjoy him. He's been on a massive REM kick lately. And one of the things I had said to you, Mel, was I need to go back and listen to all of Out of Time again, because it has been a long, long time since I've listened to Out of Time. And for familiarity of those of you who don't know, released in the spring of 1991, this is the record that had Losing My Religion and Shiny Happy People. So this is the record, or as Mel likes me to say, album, that
It's just, I don't know how it's just weird how he says it.
I know, and I don't know. Well, it's not correct
Album.
is the thing. Yeah, it's the wrong word.
this is the one
Album.
that took REM to kind of the stratosphere, right? They had Green, which was fairly successful just before that. Document had gotten some pretty good reviews, and of course that had End of the World and the one I love. So they were starting to gain steam, but Out of Time was the one. That was the record. You know, Losing My Religion was a #1 song for fucking like 2 months, you know, on top 40. Going back and listening to it, it 1000% stands up against the test of time from start to finish. There are no fucking skips. It is a phenomenal record, and it's a very drastic departure from the things REM had been doing, right? And just if you haven't listened to it in a while, for anybody, you know, I would say go back and listen to it. It's very good. Produced exceptionally well. It really highlights the strengths of all the members of the band. It's one of the running sayings about REM, and particularly Peter Buck, their guitarist, is he has the best right hand in the business, right? Because normally the right hand strums, and he plucks a ton, and it's, you know,
nice.
he's one of the best right hands in the business.
All right.
But this was in the time frame. Hair metal was at its peak and was clearly going down. Grunge had not come out yet. Grunge hadn't happened yet, right? So, you know, Pixies, people like college kids knew who Pixies were, but not, you know, not mainstream, right? And Metallica had just done Injustice for All. The Black Album hadn't even come out yet. So they're starting to gain their stratospheric kind of thing as well.
Rise as well, yeah.
This is right around the time of Rattle and Hum for U2. So U2 had just had the Joshua Tree, so they're starting to kind of have that epic rise as well. But music at the time was very much, it was either hair metal or pop. And the hair metal, it wasn't like Poison's Talk Dirty to Me when they first started as a band. It was Unskitty Bop, which made no fucking sense at all, right? They were all high as fuck or drunk as fuck, and they weren't really, the hair metal bands weren't really doing very
much.
good music. It was really kind of garbage.
I've lost the plot.
And
I've lost the plot.
I'm talking about where REM was as a band, and there was a gap, right? And there was always college radio. There was always alt rock, whatever you wanted to call it. And
I resemble that remark.
when this record came out,
Same.
suddenly the entire country got that alt rock / college rock. they got why college kids and younger, like high school kids, why they listened to it and why it was so cool. And that record and that snapshot of time, it is literally the bridging of the gap of what the 90s became. And, you know, people talk about the music era of the 90s. You know, essentially they say the 70s and the 90s are the two best music eras as a whole. And
I would extend that to about 2005. Because a lot of that continued on, and then things changed again about 2005.
Well, it was like the new metal kind of at the end of the 90s into the early 2000s.
I was about to make a joke about how 2005 was calling and the music sucks. And then you're like, music was fun in 2005. I'm like, yeah, 2005.
But
and things started sucking.
Well, I would say like that was when
The Killers came out.
Yeah,
Mr. Brightside.
probably about then, yeah.
And that was the last.
But
of
I was like, but
Mr.
you got
Brightside was the last of the good music.
But that progression, like you're talking about, into new metal, where
Yeah.
you got, you know, Korn and Limp Bizkit's biggest albums had already been released.
Right.
And 2005, they started a kind of a downturn.
yeah, Coldplay
really.
saw a vacuum. Nickelback saw a vacuum.
Right.
So,
Pretty much.
what I'm ultimately getting at is
Creed.
in
Creed, the rise of Creed.
1990 into 91, there was where Out of Time was kind of this bridge gap album between what was fading and what was coming into popularity. And it has elements of obviously kind of southern rock and country and great melodies and really good harmonizing, because this is where Mike Mills, the bassist, starts singing a lot more on records,
right,
where he actually sings songs, and the lyrics were incredible. And it was fun to go back and listen to that, and I listened to it twice in a row just because I was like, fuck yeah. So people that like that kind of music or into alt rock and stuff like that, like, because also too, the minute something becomes very, very popular, everybody starts to hate it, right? You know,
Most of the time, yeah.
So because it's the gatekeeping of it all. It's like, no, it was ours. Why is it popular now? Well, motherfucker, you're in the music business to become popular for everybody
That's
to
how you
love
make money.
to love your work.
Aw.
You know, so what's all for?
Well, I just got an email back from Clearwater Adventures, and I made sure to let them know, hey, you know, we got people with celiac. Not, hey, just we get gluten free. And they're like, no, we understand this is an accommodation, and we would take it very seriously. We understand between celiac disease and prefers not to eat flour, and we'll make sure that's fine. I'm like, I appreciate that. And then they say, you know, when you finish your pool work, please let me know about any anxieties or things you're unsure about that I can work with you when you get here.
Oh, that's great. Very
And I'm
cool.
just like, oh, I already feel in good hands with them.
Yeah, good. The so really,
I would
mean,
totally bring up some sort of unrelated anxiety.
Like
Just because it's
clowns.
funny, yeah. I
afraid of
really don't
underwater
like clowns.
snakes.
Yeah.
No,
She doesn't like clowns.
No, I
Clown
know.
snakes.
Clown snakes. I hear you, Lego Batman.
Just because they asked as a joke, I would bring up some sort of unrelated anxiety for sure.
That whole little thing about the record is really more for like Geckel and Taylor, because they're kind of the
Yeah,
music
so what I
junkies,
was going to
but-
say is I love that you love this music and music history, and that's great. Next time, just call Taylor and talk to him about it.
That's what this is for.
Do
That's
a
what
TikTok
Soundcheck's
for
for.
it. Do it.
That's what Soundcheck's for. So that's what I wanted to do.
Grant and I are
So
both like, where's he going with this?
I mean,
I'm
like,
way more interested in the snapping turtle phobia Mel has all of a sudden.
I
I
listened
have
to
a
it
fear
this.
of giant like Steve Irwin.
No.
What do you think they would do if I told them that?
Mel, I listened to it this weekend and didn't talk to you about it because I was saving it for
I know.
Soundcheck.
We're
I'm just fucking
busting
with
your
you,
balls.
dude. We're
I
just
know.
busting your balls.
I know. All right. Well, then
We're
let's-
being active,
Let's do a
like
fucking,
my Christopher would want.
No, at least at least you're not stupid.
My God, it took 48 hours for that to not age well.
Bro, it's why would you say anything?
Brody just relentlessly just keeps kicking him.
I hit him like 4 times. I tagged him and stuff. He hasn't checked his phone.
We wanted it to be active. Oh, it's
Well-
active now, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm sure he checked his phone. He hadn't sent anything back. It's funny.
Yes, fine. I'll turn my camera on.
All right. Well, let's do a show.
We got a few people.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad you got to listen to it again and
Looks
relive
like
your
Rob's
youth.
here.
It's not so much reliving my youth.
BX Gunners here.
What kind is?
Oh, it's just enjoying a record.
Okay.
Going in Soft is here.
Going in Soft.
That's not his name.
No, it's Bobby the Plug.
No, it's fucking
Mike Rogers.
Mike Rogers. He's back.
Rogers back, baby.
He's fucking after a 5-year hiatus.
Season 1 bands. That's 7 years,
he's
my friend.
back.
7. We are on year
He's
8.
back with a vengeance.
Talk about show canon resurfacing.
I love it. Fucking love
brilliant.
it. He
Absolute
called me.
brilliant.
He goes, "Have you looked at your phone in the last 20 minutes?" I was like, "No, why?" He was like, "Fucking look at your phone."
Mike Rogers is back.
As soon as I opened it, first notification, Mike Rogers posted it. I was like, "Oh, he's back!"
All right, let's
I
do
said,
a
"Houston
show.
brings him up at least once a month." Oh, Mikey.
I sure got that last cough in there for prosperity.
Thanks.
Ooh. Oh shit! Fuck. We gotta get the cups. I'll grab them real quick.
Okay, all right, here.
No, the whiskey cups.
Oh, yeah.
It's ice.
Yeah.
Be mindful you have a mic.
Oh, sorry.
And one just like you're chewing and all of that goes right into the microphone.
Oh fuck!
Be mindful you have there's a table.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap.
Problem is, there was no gap. It was a goddamn pole.
I would not put your nuts around the pole. Not advised.
Oh, we got that shit to take care of.
Thank you.
This is Ray, Manchester United supporter and P1 supporter. Fuck the rest of the league. Red Devils are going to win this shit. Peace out, baby. Oh, and you're listening to DU Football Show.
Are ya? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Somebody's not active. Are they?
Literally with an arm tied behind their back.
Yeah.
A slapping arm.
This would normally lead the show, but then it was the North London Derby and
on.
City and Liverpool lost. So let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston. And across the way from me, no, they want dub-a-dub, my co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham. How you doing, good sir?
Doing all right. Glad to be over that evening. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We did have one more issue that I didn't get to.
Yeah.
Right as I was walking out the door, which is why I was about 5 minutes later leaving than I told you I was going to be leaving the house.
Right.
Carly was getting her stuff together to go in there to lay with Avery because she wasn't fully asleep yet. Mm-hmm. And Avery was just standing at the top of the stairs. She climbed out of her crib for the first time.
Ruh-roh.
Yep. Which, not good.
Ruh-roh.
Not good at all.
Well, there's already been issues with her climbing around and her
Mm-hmm.
not liking Dad anymore because Dad tells her not to climb around.
Yep.
And of course, on the ones and twos, we have producer Mel. How we doing over there, producer Mel?
What year is it?
November, producer
There
Mel.
we
It's
go.
November.
Thanksgiving.
It's only one more week to make that joke because then it's December.
It's November.
There was along those lines also. So you know when business isn't really there. You remember working at a distributor,
Right, of course.
When business isn't really there, a lot of times the higher ups will ask our bosses to do, and subsequently us do kind of busy work type stuff. So they want anyone that's having a win in the market, they want our bosses to update every other week who's had a good win
Oh, Jesus.
in the market. And I said, "Are you serious?" My boss was like, "Yeah, man, I know." And we're in a team checkout. So I texted him. I took a selfie. We moved on from the conversation. I took a selfie and I texted it to him, and then I just responded with, "Haven't killed myself yet. #winning."
Fucking too good.
He just looked up and was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Dude, the liquor business is booming right now. We're recording at the U Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. It is at DU Football Show on all the social media and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email, which somebody has.
Yes, somebody has.
It's our good friend Keith, one of the Tuman Army Baltimore lads.
Yep.
Gets print this, thanks. That's funny. He gets in touch fairly often, actually, and he says this, old Mr. Keith, happy Thanksgiving, fellas. Thank you. You as well.
Yeah, as well.
I was hoping that you two former footballers could give a bozo fan like me some insight into the intricacies of the game. I can clarify. Could you clarify why a defender like Jasko Guardiola, for instance, to pick up an offensive player like, say, Nick Waltamata and throw him to the ground without receiving a booking of any type? I understand that the beautiful game is a contact sport, but this seemed extreme to me. Having never played an organized game, I'm sure there are things I don't understand. And then a late-minute ad. Who you got, Gay or Kane?
Oh, it's a
Or Keane, rather.
It's a drizzle kind of gay all day, man.
Yeah.
He's
Absolutely.
and
I'm going to avoid the very obvious joke.
He's mean.
Yeah, he is.
He's defensive midfielder.
Michael Keane looks like he's been fed with a silver spoon his entire life.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Graham, would you like to take this one first, or would you like me to take it?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of times, first off, the standard of refereeing, we can talk about it all show, every show. It gets boring. We're not going to get caught up in it.
Except for this week, we're going to get into it a lot because
But
VAR
the
was
standard
horrible.
of refereeing isn't very good, first, right? Secondly, I think you have to take the situation, right? If they're wrestling to begin with, kind of with each other, I can't remember what game it was, but that something fairly similar happened in another game where two players went after each other. One ended up on the ground, and then he got shoved to the ground again, essentially, as he was trying to get up.
Yeah.
And nothing was really done about it besides a common foul.
Right.
I think the referee takes the spiciness level of the game into consideration at the time, like some of that sort of stuff as well. Did it have an effect on the play? Right. Was the ball down the other end of the pitch and they're like fighting, or are they just a little shoving match? I mean, there's a lot of times where there's a shoving match or a coming together where nobody gets carded.
Right.
Technically, they should do.
Right.
But they don't. It's just, and then every referee interprets the rules a touch differently sometimes. And some referees choose to make that decision. Some don't. It's one of those things. They likely, I think you could probably say that Guardiola got lucky that he wasn't at least yellow carded.
Yeah. Badge on the jersey regrettably does have some variant in a game. It's regrettable, but it's true. The other big thing for me too,
I would beg to differ. My people have been sent off for bullshit in the last two seasons.
Where it is in the longevity of the match, right? Was this early on? Probably just a talking to. Was this
on a corner in the 96th minute? Maybe a bit more.
Right. And are you, again, how much is Waltamata involved in the grabbing?
The
and
build up to that. Yeah, exactly.
Can have a lot to do with it. Strikers don't always get calls because they're big giant fuckers, right? So a lot of times you'll see strikers get knocked in the back and they don't always get that call, and they'll get up and they'll look and they'll be like, I got elbowed in the back, right? It could also come to, if this is the player's first foul of the match, a ref is more than likely to just go, hey, watch it. even their second or third foul of the match. They may, by the third time they've done something like that, be looking at him going, the card's coming, right?
Well, this was who excuse me, somebody got red carded. Was it over the international break? Somebody got red carded, and it was the Danish player against Scotland.
Yeah.
Somebody got red carded, or was it Ireland?
I do not remember.
Might have been the Irish match.
Ireland, Hungary.
No, it was definitely Denmark, so it was Scotland. It was the referee pointed to places that player had recently made fouls. He took down John McGinn. That's exactly right. Took down John McGinn. The referee pointed 1, 2, 3, and then went like this 4, and then showed him a second yellow for a red card.
Right.
It's persistent fouling.
Right.
Right.
You're just been doing it all over the
exactly
pitch,
what you
so
just said.
finally.
You had 4 kind of minor infringements that are now like, I'm getting tired of it.
And you have to, I mean, you would like to think at least the way PGMOL wants to do things is you want to allow some interpretation for the referee. I think in some instances, which we will get on to in the,
Some of these games, yeah.
I think handball and offsides need to have very clear-cut standards because it's reached a point now where if you allow it to have interpretation, you see the same infraction being called differently multiple times throughout multiple weeks, and that can't be called for. But in the regards of just on the field play and fouling, you do have to allow the ref to decide what the pace and determination of that match is going to be. That's the part they play in it as the steward of the rules on the pitch. Oh, very, very, very good question.
Yep.
Oh, excellent. Sam, I so pork in the wine and spirit industry, and both have a deep passionate love about all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, we're about to be drinking some really, really good shit for the next couple of weeks. Why don't you tell people what we're doing tonight?
Yeah, so the first one is High West's A Midwinter Night's Dram. This is Act 13, Scene 4. This is this year's version. This one clocks in at 98.6 proof or 49.3% by volume, if you're keeping track, and it is fucking delicious. It's a blend of straight rye, finished in port barrels. That only comes out once a year from the High West Distillery in Park City, Utah.
Yeah.
And it is exceptional this year. I've had a couple of them in the past. This one is nice and spicy, but you get a lot of the port barrel fruit and kind of warming, kind of winter feelings with it. It's delicious.
And rye plays well with port. We've had the discussion before. I'm not a big bourbon rye. I mean, a bourbon port finish because I feel like bourbon's too sweet for it. But rye and barley really fucking.
And we're
going to
come in with a hot take in a couple of weeks about one of the whiskeys we tried this weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's first time I agree with you on one of your assessments that you continuously have about a particular style of bourbon as well. So.
Yep.
I could completely agree with that. But yeah, it's fucking stellar. It's stellar.
So good.
It's been around forever. They are able to get a 16-year-old rye that they have a lifetime contract on before rye was popular.
Yeah.
And they put some of that into this, and you can get that regularly as the Rendezvous rye, which is really, really good. And they make exceptional shit, man. It's stellar.
Just delicious. It's just absolutely delicious.
Worth the price of admission. It's not overly overmarked normally.
Yeah, you probably get it for about $1.60 or so on the shelf.
Yeah.
It's the right amount of spice and the right amount of fruit.
Yeah, agreed.
From the port finish. It's completely balanced. It's smooth, but it's still just as you swallow it down, you just get a little bit of warmth that lets you know you're drinking whiskey. And it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely.
All right. And what else should we always do, Mr.
Always remember to drink responsibly.
All right. Cheers, sir.
Cheers, my friend.
There we
So
go.
we tried it neat over the weekend. So I did pour some in my glass here to try it see what any water did to it at all. doesn't actually change very much.
Oh, okay.
The spiciness from the rye does tone down a touch, but it's other than that, it's pretty much the same.
Love it. And the other whiskey, because we're only having a dram of this tonight, but the other whiskey, we'll talk about that on the EFL show.
Yes.
Very good. All right, the North London derby was one-sided as the Gunners dominate Spurs, and it is clear they are now the front runners to win the title. Arsenal 4, Tottenham 1. So the Spurs made a choice with their formation.
I had every confidence in Thomas Frank being able to step up to the next level as a manager. And so far in the Champions League, he seems to be doing all right. And we saw him take PSG in his first competitive game in charge in the Super Cup. We saw him take PSG to penalties.
Right.
I don't know if Mikel Arteta is just way smarter, or if Thomas Frank was being too conservative, or if the players just didn't execute what his plan was, but there are definite questions over the tactics that were employed on Sunday.
It's very simple. It was way too conservative. He needed to take some of the game to Arsenal, and he decided we're going to play low block and let Richie try to do it all by himself up top. And you guys were more than willing to go, oh, that's how you want to play? Great. We'll take 80% of the ball. Fuck you.
We had, so the final statistics, because Spurs kind of grew into the game into the second half possession-wise. Final statistics ended up 57-43. But after the first half, I think Arsenal had 73% possession after the first half.
Over them. They were pinned back.
This says 67,
and
but
they had nothing to offer. I mean,
we completely dominated. They had 3 shots overall, right? 2 on target. One of them obviously was a wonder goal,
right?
That came from an Arsenal mistake, and Arsenal, David Raya, excuse me, is bad positioning.
Okay, you know what? Let me do this one thing real quick. Richie scored an amazing opportunistic goal. That is all we have to say about fucking Spurs, because the rest of it is all fucking Arsenal.
And it's one of those things, right? I mean, there's got to be somewhere a great YouTube compilation of either disallowed or spectacular goals in kind of drubbing losses for teams, like forgotten spectacular goals, right? Where either the goal was disallowed for some reason or y'all got spanked 4-5-6-1.
The goal was fucking stellar.
Yeah, it was great.
The goal
it
from
was
Richie
a good
was
little touch from
absolutely stellar.
well done. The ball should have never been in that position. It was a mistake from Hincapie, I think it was, maybe Saliba, can't remember. But then David Raya was well off his line for no reason. And Richarlison, I mean, to his credit, reacted well.
Right.
But it doesn't matter, because just like them dropping the ball with Eberechi as a transfer, they dropped the ball marking him the entire fucking game.
The entire fucking game.
First, you had the most tired man in football scoring a goal, Leandro Trossard. Still has the bags under his eyes. Not sure what's going on there. Get that guy a nap.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's not overlook the Trossard goal, because that was fucking perfect.
That was great. It was a deflection, but, he turned, swiveled, he shot early, which was...
You still got to put yourself in that situation to make that shot happen.
Absolutely.
And it was pretty remarkable how he did that.
And if he waited at any other length of time, right, that shot would have been blocked back out into play.
Exactly.
Him taking it early... They were still scrambling, and it happened to they weren't set, and it carooned off one of their legs into the corner, which was excellent.
Yeah,
it's exactly what you want.
And then Eze gets his first goal at the end of the first half, and then the thing you never want to see happen, your major pet peeve, what happens?
Oh, it's brilliant. No, in this particular instance, it's brilliant. Right. I wanted to see it, and I saw it. And that is a goal scored within the first 3 minutes of halftime.
Exactly. Now,
and that was Eze again, and that was the one where he wheeled away laughing to himself.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
And
perfect celebration.
And then, of course, it was the third one where there was the questionable offside. I only want to put that out there because that's going to be part of the example when we talk about it a little bit later with Liverpool in the second segment.
So I'm not sure that it should matter. I'll start there, right? Because you could have chalked it off, and I probably would have said, all right, fair dues. Yeah. And I don't think it should matter. But what I think, and I'm not sure, I didn't read why they let it stand, but the player that was initially, that was kind of, it was very close to the defender. I think it was Van der Ven who was trying to tackle him. But it went between his legs from a very close range. So the sight line had already been blocked
Right.
by his own player. So the Trossard and I think it was Saka's involvement in the sight line, potentially, didn't matter then, is the only thing I can think of. But I'm not sure that should matter, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
It's strange. Doesn't matter. Don't care. It was
Right.
enjoyable.
I just want you to hold that in your back pocket because we are going to talk about it in context with the Liverpool game, with the City Liverpool game before the break, the disallowed goal for Everton against Spurs. Like, there's just a lot of, there's this obstruction of the keeper is really starting to become a bigger thing. And I'd rather save that for the second segment, but I want you to just keep that in your brain as we kind of talk about
I got you. Just in this specific instance, the only reason I can think of is because the Tottenham defender was already obstructing the view. But again, I'm not sure that should matter, if that makes sense.
And then let's face it, Ezzy should have had a fourth right after that one.
Absolutely.
And he was angry at himself for not getting that one. He was like, I just had this shot. And I
It was
put
a
it in the
very
back of the
good.
net."
It was a very good save.
Yeah.
Vicario actually didn't have a terrible game. To be quite fair, he had 4 saves, and a bunch of them were decent. Like one of the soccer free kicks was a phenomenal save.
He's been on a fairly decent run of form so far this season. He's not getting, he still gets kind of called out on corners, but he's been pretty darn good for them.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, you obviously you have a big game coming up this next week, and we'll get on to that, and we'll talk a little bit
have
about
2.
and we'll talk about Chelsea in OSA. That happened, but you are now clearly in the driver's seat because yes, your lead is only 6 points over Chelsea, but the points where it matters is you're what now 8 over over City and like 11 over Liverpool, right?
7 over City. And 11 over Liverpool.
Like, you all are now the front runners. Now, obviously,
And 6 over Chelsea. But if we take Chelsea this weekend, we'll be 9.
December changes a lot of things, right? December is a crazy time. Let's see where you are after December. But you gotta say, right now, the team likely to win the title, the team in the driver's seat, is absolutely Arsenal, and you can't make an argument for City, and you can't make an argument for Liverpool. It's Arsenal's to lose.
I will eat crow in May if I have to.
Yeah.
On my 40th birthday, I will eat crow. We will win the league this season.
It feels like you should.
At this stage, and the way that we're not missing any of the 7 people that are injured currently, the way that we just plug and play the next guy in line and completely dominate games, we will win the league this season.
And those players are starting to get
And I'll be
healthy.
happy to eat crow in May if that doesn't come true. But the way that we're playing currently, there is absolutely no fuck. We have the best goal differential. We have joint top for the most goals scored. We have the best defense. Like, there's...
And you guys are starting to get healthy, right? Here's the beauty. Odegaard's pretty healthy. He's just about there. You can afford to let him sit on the bench and get 100%.
Well, especially after this Eza
What
performance.
Eza's doing, you don't have to use him. You're not
Exactly
forced to
right.
put him into play.
I do love the pre-match press conference. Obviously, Tottenham went in for Eza early in the summer.
Right, of course.
Arsenal caught wind, upped their bid a little bit to trump Tottenham's bid.
Right.
Eza started at Arsenal, was released at 13 years old, still supports the Arsenal. This is his boyhood club. And the deal was done within 24 hours of Arsenal trumping Spurs' bid for him.
Right, exactly.
So Thomas Frank was obviously asked about this pre-match. And I said during injury time, if you all remember correctly, I said if Carly wouldn't be mad at me, I would bet my fucking mortgage on Eza to score or assist. And then he has a goddamn hat trick.
you knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming. And then Thomas Frank was asked about this, and he goes, "Who's Eza pre-match?" As a joke, and they immediately laughed. I mean, he was being
Right.
tongue in cheek.
Right.
But what you don't do with top level professional athletes? give them any motivation at all.
Don't give them.
Don't give them any motivation at all. Because Ezra just came out and fucking mushroom stamped your forehead.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
And
it was a portobello mushroom. It was a big mushroom stamp.
This was one of the most emphatic wins I've seen you guys have in a very long time in your building.
And not a single set piece goal.
Against your rival, against your very bitter rival.
Who's also, by the way, a very good away team.
What I was just about to say.
Exactly right.
The best away team in the league. So if ever there was going to be a slip up at home, there it fucking is. It's that right there, right? Your rival, and they're great on the road. And they offered nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing. I still live in the universe where I feel... Go ahead and kill her, Sammy.
Okay.
I got plenty over here.
Whoops.
It's okay. I remember pouring my first glass of whiskey.
God damn.
Well, you know, stupid shit gets stupid responses.
That's the sound that Ez's cock made on Thomas Frank's forehead.
No shit.
Dong.
No dong. No shit. But it was so fucking convincing.
Oh yeah.
And there's something for, you know, Arsenal fans are always going to be a little cynical and waiting for the other shoe to drop. But right now,
I'm not. Not this time.
the boys are playing good.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing fucking perfect.
So, and this week, like you say, you got Chelsea at the weekend. But more importantly, as well, you've got Bayern Munich in the Champions League midweek. Mm-hmm. So we are second in the Champions League table right now with a perfect start to the campaign. No goals conceded.
Yeah.
And Bayern Munich has us on goals scored.
Right.
Is the tiebreaker at the moment. Mm-hmm. So it's a massive, massive week. You have our derby. You have number 1 versus number 2 in the Champions League table midweek. Mm-hmm. I believe we're at home. I think
for
we're
Champions
on Wednesday.
League.
We are at home as well, right?
And then it's at the Bridge on Sunday.
I think that's right.
Yeah, it is at the Bridge.
Yeah, it doesn't. There we go. Sunday is away. Yeah. Yes. But that's a huge, huge week. And it's one of those weeks that we would normally find Arsenal having in March in previous seasons where the fucking wheels come off. Mm-hmm. And we get knocked out of the FA Cup. We lose in the Champions League and get knocked out. Mm-hmm. And then we lose the derby at the weekend and find ourselves with no chance at a title anymore. Right? Now, we're looking at one of these weeks in November where it's only going to galvanize the rest of the season.
Right.
If we can come through this with the players we have missing, if we can come through this week with 9 points and a pretty decent goal differential, I wouldn't put it past us to do the double this season, to be honest.
You missed one thing. Normally in March, you also then lose the League Cup to a team like Birmingham City.
Well, true. That happens a lot, too.
It helps when you beat your rivals. It really helps when both of the legit title contenders lose too. Forest 3, Liverpool 0, Newcastle 2, Manchester City 1. Reds have lost 6 of fucking 7 in the league. Allow me to say the following. Currently, as of today, Liverpool are behind Everton in the league table on goal differential.
Oh, goal differential is wild.
And they are in the bottom half of the league.
Oh, yeah.
Let that fucking sink in. Because there's always those weird hiccups like, you know, Manchester United or City. It's never Liverpool. Liverpool's always like, they may not win it, but they're
always first to sixth.
They're never down there.
Yeah, so 6 and 7
Never.
is 6 losses in 7 games is tough.
That's
hard.
They got fucking diced, dude.
But
they got diced.
The craziest part about it with this is they weren't terrible, and especially in the first half, they weren't terrible at all. They did go in into halftime 1-0 down, but that was a thunderous Murillo strike. Mm-hmm. Following the corner. I mean that swivel left foot and absolutely cranked that ball to the far side. But they conceded a minute after halftime.
Yeah.
This is the current Premier League champions. You can't concentrate long enough for that to happen. And I know we've said it a few times. I think there is way more to do. There's two factors. It's really not my place to say necessarily, but I'm going to try to shed some light, I guess. A lot of these players look off the pace, off the boil. And I think a lot of it has to do with still trying to figure out Diogo Jota's death.
Oh, it's a very, very fair assessment.
We saw Andy Robertson. I know we don't talk a lot of international football. We saw Andy Robertson after Scotland qualified in his post-match press conference say, essentially, he's crying, saying, I can't believe, and brought Jota up. We talked about going to the World Cup together. Jota himself missed the last World Cup due to injury. So was very excited to potentially qualify with Portugal. And Robertson was like, I really think our Scotland team can get over the line. They were talking a lot, apparently, about going to the World Cup together, quote unquote, but both qualifying,
Right.
And having done it, he was that emotional about that conversation. It's still very much in the forefront of these players' minds, and you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Mohamed Salah did not just forget to play football overnight, but he's been a shell of himself this season, right? The other thing is, we said it last year. Arne Slot came in, and Arne Slot didn't really change much. He made them a bit more relaxed and comfortable in boring possession, Liverpool. He kind of stymied the heavy metal aspect of the football and made it soft rock, 97.1, you know?
Right.
But they still dominated. They were still the premier team in the league, right? But after the trophy was won, when it was all wrapped up, they finished the season poorly. If you remember, I think they lost 4 of the last 5.
They did very, very poorly.
So I think you're seeing now they spent all this money on all these players. You had the tragedy of Jota. I think you're seeing Arne Slot's tactical shortfalls starting to come out. Yeah. And he was not like a top level manager.
Right.
He managed Feyenoord and managed 1 trophy with them.
Right.
He's never had a big job. So this is where he's going to prove his salt. Is he going to be the next Ancelotti that goes from here to Madrid, that goes from Madrid to Inter, that goes from Inter to,
could be,
whatever? Is he going to be the next kind of it guy for the next 20 years, right?
Sure.
Where he only takes the big jobs. But if he can't get this ship corrected and he gets canned, what big club's going to take a chance on him?
No one, because it will always be your success of the first season was Klopp's team.
But I also feel like exactly that also. I mean, by the third goal, it kind of looked easy for Forest.
It did. Well, and I would say, so this is kind of the
nature of that goal especially, just it looked simple.
The defense being a mess, right? Because like that 4th goal was you brought on Andy Robertson to kind of help subdue things, and Andy Robertson got worked on the outside for that 4th goal. Like he was directly responsible for why that ball ended up on Gibbs White's foot for the easy finish.
Yep.
But here's the other thing, as they're still trying to figure everything out, if they have to play Szoboszlai on defense, their midfield is then fucked.
But that's the thing, they don't have to do that. I don't know why he keeps doing it.
No.
This is where he's fucking up himself.
Because
Szoboszlai's easily been your best player the entire season.
Your midfield right now has to be Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and McAllister.
Yeah, put him in the position to change the game. He can't do it from right back.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's exactly it.
And this is where I say it's more Arne Slot's fault than it is the team's fault. Right? And maybe they need to get a new sports psychologist. Or get a new psychologist in to help them cope with the death of their friend, which is a tragic loss, and that does affect people. But the day after my uncle died, a couple of weeks ago, I didn't perform my best at my job.
Right.
You know, you need to grieve. You need to, I'm not saying that to be a dickhead. It's absolutely true. But you could tell there's something weighing these players down, and Slot's tactics aren't helping the team at all. So I think personally, from the outside looking in and having experienced grief and having experienced the loss of a teammate, those two things look like what's wrong with Liverpool. And it's the coach's fault and Jota's death.
It also
and they're not dealing with it.
It also doesn't help that Isaac is completely a pedestrian. He's just a passerby. He's just like
Well, Arne Slot said this in his post match as well. He said, "What's happened to him?" And he was like, "Well, he's not fit because he went on strike all summer, right?"
Then why are you playing him?
Because he said the only way to get fit is to give him minutes. He needs to be match fit, and he's been playing midweek with the reserves on occasion.
Well, you're a fucking professional. So even though you were having the
Do
contract
something,
disputes, come in shape, come in ready to play.
It's just it's ridiculous, man. I just don't understand what they're doing, and it seems like some of the easiest things in the world as well.
Okay, so now what I want to get to, and this kind of plays into the season as a whole so far, is VAR. I know we try not to get into too much, other than just when we think they got it wrong, we just say it. But for me, there are two things they get consistently wrong, and the only consistent thing about it is it's never fucking consistent, is the offsides rule as far as a player obstructing, right, and the handball rule, right? These are the two things they seem to consistently get wrong. And we can look at, like I said, the Everton-Tottenham match where one got called, one didn't get called for being offsides. You can look at the City-Liverpool match from just before the break. You can look at the goal that you guys scored. You can look at the goal here that they scored to start the second half that did not get called offsides. And then the goal that was not a fucking handball get called a handball. It was almost like Forest should have scored one of those goals, but they got them wrong. Like they got the wrong call wrong, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because the handball one was. Is this the one that hit him on the sleeve?
it hit him here. It hit him in his armpit.
that shouldn't have been called a
and it
handball at all.
felt like you were making up for the fact that maybe you should have called offsides.
Well, I
on
mean,
the-
so the semi-automated offsides thing is what should happen. The gray area is this obstruction of the goalkeeper thing, right?
and that's where I think we need a rule. And I'm going to give you my idea in a moment, but please go ahead.
No, I just I don't know. I mean, referees interpret things differently. They have different angles of stuff. I mean, like when Gylfi was laid down and 6'4" David Gea was in net, but somehow Gylfi was obstructing the
Right, of course.
You know, it's not like the ball hit him or anything. It was completely a moot point.
Right.
But what I will say is this is a prime example of how your the badge gets the calls doesn't hold up because it went against Liverpool in this situation, right?
Yeah.
Which is glorious. You know, I don't know, man. I get tired of talking about referees and I get tired of talking about some of these decisions and then also comparing them to other games because it was other human beings that refereed those games. Mm-hmm. I want to see this referee's track record. Right, and I want the referee to be either punished or commended for being consistent or a lack thereof, because the temperature of the game does matter, right? That's not written in the rules.
Well,
the
course.
temperature of the game matters, especially like with the email from Keith to start the show, right? The temperature of the game matters. The position in play that everything is matters to some of those things, you know. Especially if you're going to call a violent conduct or show a double yellow, or if they're previously wrestling, or if somebody walked up and just did that outright, like all of that. Those things aren't written in the rules, but they matter, right? Offside should be binary. That's what we've discussed. The only possible gray area is this obstruction thing, and I don't think if the player didn't touch it. Like if he's anywhere near the goalkeeper sight line, if that's going to be the rule, be the rule.
Right.
But if you look back at the play and the ball's coming from the right and the offside player's on the left, well, there's no way he's obstructing the goalkeeper. So fucking let it stand.
So
I don't get it. I don't understand why this is such a problem for them to figure out.
Here's where I feel like this needs to just have a black and white kind of feel to it. And allow me to explain. First off, with the handball rule, I feel that, remember, the line is in, right? It has to go completely over the line to be out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Whole ball over the whole line.
So any part of the skin showing, right, is in. So it's a handball, right?
Yeah.
So if it hits any part of the ball hits any part of skin, it is a handball. But if the ball hits here, ain't a fucking handball.
No, you're allowed to use your shoulder.
Right, but if it hits the arm here, but because it's also going to hit some of the shoulder, if it hits the fabric, only the fabric, the minute if an inch touches the fucking skin, handball, no goal, right?
Right.
Treated as such. The other one, to keep interpretation of the are they obstructing or not rule. And I know what you're going to say as a combatant, and allow me to retort it before you have a chance to say it. You draw the line for offsides. If any player that would be in an offsides position is between the pipes and within the goal box, what we would call the 6-yard line in America, right? Mm-hmm. If they are in that little zone, offsides. Even if they're standing to the side completely out of the play, they're offsides because they're in the goal mouth, right? And within the goal box, which is where the keeper should have room, right? I would say if you did that, 1 out of every 20 would have someone who was like standing by the post when a ball went in the net and wasn't in the keeper's way at all. But 19 of the 20, you'd get fucking right. And then players would just know to not be there.
Yeah, I would argue that 95% of calls are accurate anyway. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't like it.
In this very instance, with the obstruction of the keeper, right? Now, note, when I said that, the reason why I said talk about, like, remember your game? Your guys were outside of what would have been the goalkeeper's box. Even though they were inside the pipes,
well,
they were out.
As a second strike? No, they weren't.
They were both outside the 6.
No, well, they were outside the 6, but in the same line as the goalkeeper.
Right. That is normal play. Keeper, like, that's why I said inside the goal box.
I don't know if I like it.
Because inside the goal box, you could directly be standing in front of the keeper and the keeper can't see it. That is nothing different than the last defender where your guys were. That's nothing different than a last defender.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I'm not sure.
But I feel like there needs to be some definity to this rule in the regards of every fucking week, one's being called offsides, the other one's not being called offsides.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no real fucking difference in any of them.
No,
none.
But again, that's down to, in my opinion at least, the level of refereeing in England currently isn't very good.
That is a fair assessment. And what's going to improve first? The refereeing in England, or making a definitive rule that they have to fucking go by?
That they will again fuck up because they suck. That's the point.
But then you have a standard and go, you didn't call it like this. This is how you have to fucking call it.
Yeah, so we get more Pugmole apologies. Fucking great. Can't wait for that. There's the real problem is there's no fucking answer.
Right.
Because nothing's going to give. Right? If one thing, we get the definitive answer, they're not going to replace the shit referees.
Right.
So they're going to fall short of that standard also, is my point. So I'm kind of just over talking about refs.
Right.
Because it's a bit ridiculous.
Fair.
Okay, so take the interpretation of what happened in your game today, which we'll talk in depth about.
Right.
Right? Every pundit, Ruben Amorim, everyone surrounding the game with common sense said it should have been a yellow and a stern talking to.
Right.
Because it wasn't like he fucking punched the guy. Mm-hmm. Right? So
keep it in your pants. We'll get to that. I'm just
like, so what are we going to do? Like, this referee, I don't know, man.
So transitioning here, the one thing you could say about both of these matches is while both of these two title contenders lost, both Forest and now moving on to Newcastle executed flawless fucking game plans. They knew exactly what they were going to do and how they were going to do it, and they did it perfectly.
And did it in very different ways. You would the Forest one especially. Mm-hmm. I mean, this was like his first game in charge. Remember, on short notice was Real Betis, I think it was, in the Europa League. 1-2-0.
Yeah.
Right. The 3 years at Everton showed us that you don't have this in your locker.
Right.
How did that happen? And then he turned around and fucked off the next 2 Premier League games.
Right. Precisely.
against lower opposition.
Yeah.
right? So, but then he turns around against Liverpool. I mean, this almost has the feeling, right, now that he has a better squad and some support, almost feels like what Thomas Frank was doing at Brentford. The pressure's off.
Yeah.
We're going against the bigger boy.
Yeah,
let's go give him a bloody nose.
Yeah, let's
right?
go for it.
And they go do that. But against an equally sized kid in the schoolyard, they're struggling to beat him.
Now, with Newcastle, what I feel Newcastle, the one thing that they decided was, Erling Haaland, you're not going to beat us. City can beat us, but you, Erling Haaland, are not beating us.
So you know what I heard, and this was after you put your bet in on Saturday. When I saw that video, I did hear that Erling Haaland in the build-up to this match, because I was I was driving, but I had YouTube TV on my phone and was listening to the pregame as I was working, and basically Newcastle is the only opponent that Erling Haaland has not scored at least 2 goals against. In English football that he's played.
Right.
It is his historically the least favorite opponent in his career.
Well, and it also was Eddie Howe made some changes at the back, right? He brought in Shar. Livermento being back is massive.
It's huge. He got a very good
massive.
block in early on as well.
So it made a big
against
difference.
Haaland specifically.
But they just decided they weren't gonna let Haaland beat him. And yeah, they conceded possession, which is what an Eddie Howe team's could do, particularly this team. But Nick Pope played well. The defense played well.
But they bullied him.
And they just, that's it. In their stadium in St. James Park, that's a tough fucking proposition.
And they're a different animal. And I think that some of the inconsistencies we've seen from Newcastle, I think, are down to they've prioritized the Champions League because they know they have a squad to compete in the Premier League, right?
Right.
So they've sacrificed some of the Premier League games to make sure they progress in the Champions League. Pick up the points early and pick them up often.
Right.
In the Champions League, right?
Yep.
If they make the knockout stages, they almost double their prize money immediately,
Right.
which is huge. We've already said they were one of the unfortunate few that got bought by oil tycoons that can't really use it.
Right.
Because of PSR, right?
Right, exactly.
So they have to make sure they're in the Champions League. I think with the way they finished last season and the way they came on, right, to get Champions League football for this year, I think they're following the same game plan. Let's make sure we qualify for the knockout rounds of the Champions League to make sure we get that extra payday. And then, because we know we're not going to win it, then we can prioritize the league the second half of the season and do it to it, right?
Almost kind of like how Villa did last year.
But at St. James Park, you have the fans spurring you on a bit. That's been their fortress. And it's going to continue to be their fortress, I'm sure. And City just weren't up to the task.
Oh, and be surprised. Next week they go to Everton. If this weekend they completely fuck that game off.
Right.
Wouldn't surprise me one.
And the other thing, back to Keith's point as well, with the wrestling to the ground. Newcastle are good at being bullies. Most of City's squad, besides Rodri, really, who didn't feature,
Right.
nobody in that squad really is a bully.
No, not
At
at
all?
all. Not at all.
And so it looks weird when Vardiol does something like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sit right.
Yeah.
And they're just off balance. I'm going to keep bringing it up, and I'll say it again this week. What is Phil Foden doing with his hand to fix it? Why does he still have that shit taped?
I
It's
don't know.
3 years on.
Yeah.
It's just like Nellie's cheek Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
going
just
to
his
keep
thing
going.
now. It's his thing now.
It's ridiculous.
Barnes with the brace, he is on a heater.
Barnes
right
should
now.
have had 4 goals in this game. The first one he missed was pretty bad. The second one he missed was horrific. I would have substituted him if I was his manager. That was horrible miss.
Yeah. But
Absolutely horrible.
Yes, he had the misses, but man, is he scoring goals for him right
But then
now.
he figured it out. Yeah.
Yep.
Then he figured it out.
Yep.
You know what else is funny about him? He qualifies through his grandparents for Scotland.
No shit.
He has never said he wants to play for Scotland. Mm-hmm. Scotland have inquired about his availability now that they've qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, come on over.
He ain't going to play for England.
No, he won't.
You
No,
would
he
say, right? I mean, you got Madueke, you've got
Yeah.
Saka.
No, he
As
ain't play- he
wingers,
ain't
you've
playing.
got Cole Palmer, Madueke,
He
Saka.
ain't playing.
Potentially Grealish, I think, would be way higher in the pecking order.
agreed.
You've got all of these, and then Anthony Gordon, his own teammate, who's already featured and seems to be important to Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, agreed. And here's the other. Pep decided to like fight a cameraman.
Pep was losing his shit to everybody.
It's fucking
But now
crazy.
here's like you won the game, right? Mm-hmm. Why is Joe Linton rolling over to Donnarumma and starting shit?
Because Joe, Linton is just like that. That's how he rolls. It's how he's made.
It's just like, what are you guys doing? You won the game. Get the fuck off the field.
Oh.
Pep was going over. He was fingering the face of the referee when he was shaking his hand. There was a bunch of like just spoiled brat nonsense from City
Now
at the end of that game, and it makes total sense because they are a bunch of prats.
The fun part is going to be though is all this talking we've just done about both of these teams, and they're both going to finish on the top 4 and still get to Champions League.
Probably, yeah.
Rounding out the rest of the league, so that happened. Chelsea 2, Burnley 0, Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2, Brighton 2, Brentford 1, Fulham 1, Sunderland 0, Palace 2, Wolverhampton 0, Villa 2, Leeds 1, Everton 1, Manchester United 0, Idrissa Gana Gueye 1, Michael Keane 0. Chelsea's in fucking second, man. They're 6 games out, and they have a chance to make it 3 at home
Yeah, they
against
won't, though.
Arsenal.
Tell you that.
Here's the biggest thing you can say about Chelsea is their signings are starting to come good, right? Like Cucurella's really has just become dead on every day, left back, Mr. Consistency, right? Enzo Fernandez really coming into form, and the big one, Concedo is he is back to
he's one of the best
prime
defensive
Brighton-
midfielders in the league at the
back
moment.
to prime
In the world at the
Brighton
moment.
form, and he was really in
It's funny.
not a good place
And
last year.
Enzo Fernandez has kind of figured it out. I don't know if they brought Frank Lampard in to talk to him, but Enzo Fernandez has been making late runs into the box recently that are very Lampard-esque.
And he gets goals.
He got a goal here in this game,
Yep.
doing that same thing to seal the deal. And Pedro Neto with a very uncharacteristic diving header to score the first goal. But this for me was just a professional Chelsea performance, really. Something you don't often see from them because they're so young.
Right.
And because
There's always so much inconsistency.
because they changed the team so much. For me, really, I mean, there were 23 total shots in the game, right? Only 7 on target. 5 of those were Chelsea's, right? It's 5 from 15, a third on target.
Yeah.
Not particularly great, to be honest, of a return when you've got that much possession of the ball.
Right. Well, and in fairness, Burnley has figured out that they're going to make it tough, right, on everybody.
Yeah, of
this
course.
year.
Right.
But ultimately, they're not going to have the class, right? And
Right, but you should be working them more, right? I mean, we can go say the same thing. We can go back to Liverpool about this. I didn't bring that up. 21 shots, just 4 on target, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for a strike rate on target about 50%. Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest, 15 shots, 7 on goal.
Right. That's what you
Roughly
need to be doing.
50%.
Yep.
That's what you should be doing. You should be making at least minimum making the keeper work.
Right.
And they just didn't, right? And Chelsea did not achieve that 50% marker here. Because they're not going to get that much joy against next weekend, for instance, against us.
It feels like the pieces, though, are starting to learn to have life without Cole Palmer and not be so reliant on him. And
Yeah, that's fair. I think they found a bit more balance.
this is a massive test for them coming up. I'm with you. I feel Arsenal is going to win, but this is the team we've been talking about.
Especially if Robert Sanchez tries to knock out his own players.
True.
With the punts.
But we've talked about this before about how this team's good enough to be top 4. This team's good enough to be in the discussion of a title, but they don't have the consistency to do it. It feels like they're finally starting to figure out the consistency part.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess you'd say. He's not tinkering so much with the team. He does that more in Europe. The Premier League squad is pretty much the Premier League squad. In a weekend of mushroom stamps, though, that we've been alluding to the entire time, what I would say is a
It's
cream
not going to be show title.
colored
keep saying
tracksuit.
it.
He keeps saying it.
Is a cream colored tracksuit with no mushroom stamp outline is a bold choice from Enzo Fernandez. Tiny PP.
Yeah,
I think.
Heard.
Yeah.
All right. So, keeping it rolling.
Mushroom stamp.
These next four, I kind of want to go over quickly because we're already getting close to an hour, and there's really not a ton to really say in them. Irons go up 2-0 at the Vitality,
Bro.
which is big. And Callum Wilson scores 2 against his old club.
And Smokey hates him
Yeah.
for some reason. Anyone that does anything good for West Ham, Smokey hates. But he loves West Ham. I don't understand.
And
He's blowing my fucking mind with his online content.
and then they
Old Smokey
eventually
McPot.
and then they eventually figure out a way to lose the fucking lead.
Here's the thing.
And shit almost lost the fucking game.
Ariola is a very good manager, right? And Bournemouth are quite good at home. They were without Semenyo. West Ham took their chance. What West Ham needed to do was continue down that path. But Nuno, not trusting his own team, decided to go very defensive very early
And it
in the second
ultimately
half.
bit him in the ass.
And it ultimately bit him in the ass because Ariola out-tacticked him, if that makes sense. He dropped deep too early. He almost did a 10-man drill with 11 players from like the 65th minute or some shit. It's like, what are you doing? There's still a half hour to play.
But the key thing, West Ham out of the drop now.
Oh yeah.
That's really because so ultimately you would have liked to, if you're a West Ham supporter, you would like to see the win. But if it's a draw and it gets you out of the fucking drop, I guarantee you any West Ham supporters chewing their arm off to go get us out of the fucking drop.
What did I tell you with Dyche over the last 3 seasons with Everton? And what to say about Nuno with Forest for that year and a half before they were very good last season?
Get draws.
Was get points on the board, period. That's all that matters, is just get points on the board. And that is what he's doing since he's been West Ham manager.
Right.
After those first 2-3 games, he's gotten, a winner or two and a couple of draws. So he's gotten 7-8 points all of a sudden, and now, as you say, you find them, they're outside of the drop zone.
So we've been talking about like good Seagull, bad Seagull. We got to see good Seagull, bad Seagull in one game.
Yeah.
They were terrible in the first half, great in the second half, win 2-1.
I think Danny Welbeck should go with England to the World Cup.
You know what?
Ollie Watkins didn't show fuck all.
You make him your third striker. If you need him in the 90th minute to get a goal,
33-year-old that guy Welbs, come on.
I believe he'll get
Come
you
on.
a goal.
Can I be the first one to say I don't agree with UPS having a team in the Premier League?
Oh, yeah, those jerseys.
They are horrific. Absolutely horrific. I fucking hate that dark brown with cream writing on them.
Yeah, they're not good.
It's ugly. They look like turds running around.
Yeah, they're not good at all.
I
Not good at
absolutely
all.
fucking hate it. Brighton, though, it took them a while to fucking... They played all right, yeah, and they had chances. But they allowed Brentford to do too much, really.
Give up the penalty.
And then they overstepped their bounds, right? They gave up the penalty. And then you see one of the most informed strikers in the league, obviously score. But what Brighton then do, after they gave up another fucking penalty, is be brilliant. Verbruggen
Right. Make the save and get the
make
win.
the save and get the win. And collected the ball very pleasingly from a seated position,
Yeah.
which
This
I
is
love.
Just the roller coaster that is Brighton. It's
I couldn't be. I'd have a heart attack. I couldn't be a supporter. of them.
It's reached the point now where you don't even know what they're going to be within every 15 minutes of a match.
Now I
let
know
alone
why
game to
Paul.
game.
Now I know why Paul moved to the beach. You know what I mean?
Get away from it.
To fucking be able to relax. He saves all of his stress for Brighton matches,
Heard.
and then he just goes outside and is by the sea.
Very good. In the case of Fulham and Sunderland, it can be wrapped up very simply.
Fulham, Sunderland.
Fulham desperately needed 3 points more than Sunderland needed 1. Sunderland was perfectly happy to try to get in there, walk away with a draw, call it a day. Fulham desperately needed to win. They
Yeah.
had to get all 3. A draw was not going to be good enough. And I think that's ultimately what it came down to, is that Fulham just had a little bit more oomph to try to get the 3 points than Sunderland just being content with a draw.
It was a world-class cross. for Raul Jimenez's goal. But Marco Silva basically employed a Sunderland game plan, right, with a little bit more gumption. Fulham had 24 shots overall in the game, 6 of those on target. Sunderland only had 4 total shots, 2 on target, right? So it was a bit more impetus in the Fulham side. But really, it was the longer it went 0-0, normally you would feel like that favors Sunderland. But it felt like Fulham, they've actually turning the screw here. See if they can get one over the line. And they finally did. It just took, they out Sunderland, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is, for me, what it boiled down to.
The Edwards era has begun at Wolverhampton. And Mr. Graham, allow me to tell you, Wolves do have a natural predator. It's called winning. That is Wolves' natural predator.
You know, they
is winning.
They did look a bit more organized. I'll say that. And Rob Edwards, for everything he did at Luton Town and as good of a story as they were and everything else, he's a Wolves legend. And he was rolling with Middlesbrough. The people in Middlesbrough fucking hate him now because he left.
Oh, yeah.
Mid-promotion campaign to manage Wolves. Now, he played for Wolves. I don't know that we talked about this. I don't know that I describe him as a legend,
Right.
necessarily, but it feels a strong emotional attachment, and that's what he wants to do. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, they looked a bit more organized. They looked had a bit more about them, but they're just not very good.
Let's see
They're just
where
not very good.
Let's see where they are in December, after December, before we start the Derby County discussion, but gonna soon be had.
Right.
It's soon going to be had. And I can already tell you 2 weeks from now, 2 Mondays from now, we will have Danny in studio, and I don't care what the score is, we will be opening with Wolverhampton because I want to have a Wolverhampton supporters kind of input on this.
Yeah,
Because
I hear you.
we're starting to sound like a broken record with the ownership. I kind of want to hear from someone who has a little bit more detailed information on what it is with that ownership group and why they feel it necessary to give managers money before they walk out the door and fire them.
Yeah.
Like,
I tend to agree with that. I'd love to hear their take. As a point, because they did that before with O'Neill, I think, as well, didn't they?
They did with O'Neill and they did with Vitor Pereira.
It is a ridiculous thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you say it out loud, it sounds so much more mad than like just reading it in the newspaper. It's absurd. You kind of caught me off guard with it again.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? Because it's one of those sentences. It's like, what?
So,
You know?
Leeds get out to an early lead. And
Thundercock early
a
lead.
little bit of a soft pen. Like, even Geck was like, kind of a soft pen. But he'll take it, of course. But then...
Oh, was the header ruled out? I can't remember.
Yeah, the header got ruled out. It was a penalty that got scored.
Oh, yeah. It was a good header, though.
But so anyways,
I forgot about that.
Ultimately, here's what happened is Farka's now in this, he is never going to be able to live down the, hey, look, as long as we get a point, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Attitude. There was, the problem here is he's playing a manager in Emery who will figure out a way to break you down and will figure out a way to beat you. And it doesn't have to be Watkins. Someone else will do it.
Right.
And this time it was Rodgers with the brace.
Yeah.
Like, and then once they did it, it was like, oh yeah, it's over now. Like, it's done.
well, too bad.
The thing that I thought was the funniest, and Gak had sent this video to me, was a supporter, one of the lead supporters.
Oh, no, I sent it to you. Did he send it to you as well?
Mm-hmm.
No, I sent it to you.
Please tell the story.
It was a picture of a kind of blonde guy, long hair, that was getting escorted out by stewards. And the guy posted the picture. He said, he was, this guy was saying to me, he needs to make some subs. He needs to bring on Dan James. He needs to do this, da-da-da-da. And 3, 4, 5 minutes of this going on, he became increasingly frustrated. He said, fuck this. I'm going to go tell him to bring some subs on. Jumps over the advertising hoardings and walks up to Farka and tells him to bring on Dan James, apparently.
Yep. He gets taken out.
2 minutes later, Dan James gets brought on the field. And if that's how you're running your team and running your club, you got to fuck off. I mean, I would fear for Farka's job, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I agree. I would agree. He's on thin ice, and now,
I mean, Villa are a good team. Don't get me wrong. They've kind of righted the ship, right?
It's a lot easier
from their early season form.
It's a lot easier to avoid relegation if you're on the outside. When you're on the inside and you're fine and you're safe, than it is when you're on the outside looking up. Like, it's much easier when you're in safety, right? It's much easier. There's still pressure, but it's a lot easier when you're safe.
Yeah.
And Leeds are now no longer safe.
Well,
you're
here
going to need to figure it out.
The problem is, because if you're safe, all you need is a draw most times, right? The teams in the relegation zone are there for a reason. They're probably going to lose.
Right.
But when you're in the relegation zone, you need to pick points up, which means you probably need to win. And that for them seems to be quite difficult.
Yes. Let's get into it. If it wasn't for the North London derby and City and Liverpool losing,
what? Sam, why'd you do that?
Because you didn't fucking run to the pass I gave you, Sam. You need to know what I'm doing here. This would have led the show. This absolutely would have led the show, this match. This match was fucking crazy. Absolutely insane.
Manchester United were fucking pitiful.
Everton decides to start Seamus Coleman, who promptly gets hurt within 2 minutes of the start of the match and has to get pulled off. Everton start on the front foot. They are all over United. And then in the 13th minute, a simple giveaway from Idrissa Gueye. Bruno Fernandes steps in, takes a shot, it goes wide. And you think nothing of it until suddenly Pickford and Ndiaye have their arms around Idrissa Gueye. Idrissa Gueye is losing his fucking mind, screaming as they are walking him off the pitch. And you're like, he's just been sent off. He just got a red card. You're like, what the fuck happened? You're like, okay, well, I guess he smacked Bruno Fernandes for being stupid looking. Like, don't we all want to kind of do that, right? And you're like, oh no. Credit to Shorebilly on this one. They fucking Newcastled it. He slapped his own fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
Slapped his own guy right in the mouth.
Now, it wasn't that bad. The Toon had a proper punch-up between each other, like ripped shirt and everything. I think it was it Lee Boyer and Kieran Dyer or somebody back in the day. I remember watching it. I saw it live. It happened. It was on Fox Sports World back in the day, right? The channel that used to show Premier League games. This was a bit more of a love tap.
It was
on the face.
They were yelling at each other. Keane pushed him. Keane went to push him again, and he smacked him right in the cheek. Get him goal smack right in the cheek.
To be fair to the referee, and this will be the only time I do this, to the letter of the law, yes, it's violent conduct.
It's a red card.
Anytime you strike, the law is written, an opponent or other person
on the pitch.
If you strike them in the face in an aggressive manner, as long as the contact is not deemed to be negligible, or impact is not deemed to be negligible, is how it's written, it is violent conduct. You could be sent off. Michael Keane's head moved from the hit.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't particularly hard, but it wasn't negligible. It wasn't like he just poked him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's, to the letter of the law, it's a red card. This is, again, and back to the email, this is where the referee's discretion does come into play.
Right.
They're teammates, and it's not like he fucking closed fist punched the guy. And he didn't backhand him. He didn't, like full on slap the shit out of him, kind of Ric Flair style.
It wasn't Charlie Murphy. What did the five fingers say to the face?
Yeah. So you probably could have used some discretion to give it a yellow card and have Stern talking to. And then you step 1 foot out of line after this. I'm sending you off.
Right, exactly.
But it's such a stupid thing to do. And from a 36-year-old, very experienced player.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how mad you are at him.
He's been the captain of his country. He's played in about to be his 4th World Cup. Like, it's
Yeah. And-
you know better.
And
He also, in his apology, said as much as well. Was just like, I was 1,000% in the wrong, and I'm very, very sorry.
I'm going to apologize for what I'm about to say. The aesthetic of it looked very much like I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yes.
I can't ignore it. I don't feel proud of it, but it's funny.
And from there, Moyes immediately goes. You could see him. He brings over Barry and he goes, "We're going to a 4-4-1." Right, and you kid are up on an island
By
on your
yourself.
own.
He won. Did you know about the aerial duels? Are you about to bring it up? Yeah.
He won
Brilliant.
13 aerial duels, which is
Brilliant.
the most
Yeah.
in the Premier League in a single game this season. That boy read his
He
ass off.
understood the assignment. This kid. He absolutely did.
And for Karen Dewsbury's Hall goal, the goal that he scored, he ran off to the side, took 2 fucking defenders with him.
Yep.
Which opened up the lane for Dewsbury Hall to then rip off a brilliant fucking shot. And there you are in the 26th minute, and Everton are up 1-0.
And the goal was scored after the 10 men, right? It was after the red card. And for those that didn't see it, at Old Trafford. And United, so I caught a decent amount of the second half, not the entire thing. United, I'll lay the stats on you real quick. The 25 shots, only 6 of them on target. So for large parts of that second half, United obviously dominated possession, and they dominated the chance creation. But a lot of the chances they created were garbage. There were nowhere near anything. The few times they actually did test Jordan Pickford, he fucking knew a Z was a Z.
He
didn't joke around with his teacher.
No, he was doing
He
his
answered
job.
he knew November wasn't the year, Mel. You
Yeah.
know? He knew, right, what to do, and he fucking did it.
Of those,
He got the goddamn rave on.
of those 6, 3 of them were fucking worldies. And it reached the point there as it's getting towards the end, like when we are at about the 88th minute, I'm saying as I'm watching the match, I'm like, fuck being happy if we get a draw. Pick deserves a fucking shutout.
Oh, yeah.
He has played his ass off. Like, he deserves, and also just the team as a whole. Like, they all got the job and they fucking did it, and they did it really well. Like, you're seeing goddamn Jack Grealish playing left back at one point during the second half.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they all decided
He looked like he
you're
developed.
not going to score.
What's the not an ulcer? What's the thing you get when your abdominal wall kind of breaks down and your guts start to spill through? A hernia. He was holding his stomach like he developed a hernia during the last 10 minutes. Jack Grealish did. I also want to say, what a perfect, after this year in charge for Ruben Amorim. Today was a year to the day that he took charge of Manchester United. What a perfect summation of a year, anniversary and microcosm gift this is for this guy.
Yeah, go.
It has
go
been
5 unbeaten.
absolutely shambolic, right, of a performance in general. After looking like you've righted the ship, as you just rightly point out, but to also give David Moyes, who's about 115 years old, his very first win as an opposing manager in Old Trafford.
Yeah, it was just insane. Absolutely insane.
What a perfect thing for him.
And it was, Amarin was, I'm surprised he wasn't on the sideline playing with the Magnets. Like, great, you brought in Mount at halftime. You should have brought in Mason Mount the minute that fucking red card happened.
Exactly.
You were playing with
You had 20 minutes.
You were playing
Yeah.
with 3 fucking center backs for the entirety of the first half when you didn't need them, and you played with 3 fucking center backs, and Everton fucking scored on you. Down a man with 3 fucking center backs. Like, that's all on you, United. Like, Everton put in a good, gutsy performance, took advantage of the opportunities they were given. The ball broke their way a little, but like you said, one like United really came strong with chances.
Nah.
They kept putting them in, and O'Brien and Keane and Tarkovsky were more than happy to head them away. There was never any real chances other than the one Xerxes got his head on that Pickford made a fucking worldie out of. Like, that's on you, United. That is fucking on
big
you.
time.
Absolutely on
Big
you.
time. It's absurd.
Sure money.
I was very close.
Yeah. What did you miss? Because I didn't know how you did or didn't do.
I missed, Mikel Merino to have a shot on target.
Okay.
And I missed Bukayo Saka to score or assist
There you go.
because of Vicario's fingertips.
Oh no.
Twice. Yeah.
That sucks.
And Marino, for all his, played very, very well, just never got a shot in. Mm-hmm. So it just is what it is. I was quite close though, but I had Eza, I had the Declan Rice shot on target, I had like all the goofy things.
that was
hit.
from the chip over was Declan Rice's shot.
It was the
on target.
first chance of the game. Mm-hmm. So I had all the goofy stuff hit. It was the 2 things that I was pretty nailed on in my mind,
Right.
that didn't hit. You know, with as many corners as we tend to get,
Yeah.
you figure Marino, as good as he is in the air, would have a shot on target at some
Right.
point.
Just something.
And then Saka, everything at the moment is really going through him.
Right.
Anyway, so it's unfortunate, but I'm perfectly fine. Again, I'll sacrifice the money for Arsenal to keep winning. You know what I'm saying?
Same in mine. I'll sacrifice my bet for Erling Haaland not to be the part that hits for my bet.
Right.
Just because they fucking lost, right?
Yeah.
Even though they could have lost 2-1 and Haaland would have scored and I would hit my bet, but that's okay. You know what? I'm okay with it because if Haaland had scored, City would have scored more than one. Mm-hmm. So for me, I missed. I am down $637.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
You're going to like this. 10% of the time, it works 100% of the time, big boy.
Nice round number. Don't mind it.
So this week, I am going to take a 4-leg parlay, 3 winners and 1 goals. So first, I'm taking City, Liverpool, and Villa. City, Liverpool, and Villa to beat Leeds, West Ham, and Wolves. And I am taking over 2.5 goals in your match with
Nice.
Chelsea. And if I hit that, that is plus 486.
Okay. I don't know why it tickled me so much, but you said 1 goals. It is plural. I don't know why it tickled me that hard, but it did. All right. So I'm down. What is it? Week 12. I'm down 1,100 because
Tickle Me Hard could be a show title, Mel.
we don't bet on the first week,
No.
obviously. And I've lost every bet this season. I got a 6-gamer.
9-way parlay.
I got a 6-legger, rather. 2 things. 1 thing has for 1 game. So I've got City to beat Leeds and over 2.5 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Think that's pretty standard
Yeah.
considering it's at City.
Agree.
I've got Brentford to beat Burnley
Okay.
at home. I think they could probably knock Burnley over pretty handedly. Fulham or draw away at Tottenham.
Ooh.
Tottenham traditionally haven't been very good at home,
This season, no, not at all.
and Fulham need the points. I think they smell blood in the water, and after the performance against Sunderland, I think they got the bit between their teeth a bit. Arsenal to beat Chelsea, I think is a fairly simple shout to be fair. And Nottingham Forest versus Brighton, I've got over 1.5 goals.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, good.
That gets me plus $1,120.
Terrible with money.
I'll probably lose again.
Not good gambling.
Whatevs.
Alrighty. Well, Mr. Graham, that is going to wrap it up. Got any parting words for us?
Yeah, we normally use this section to highlight bad people, and I am going to highlight a bad person, group of people, and that is I can't remember the club. Doesn't matter. It's a French team, maybe Nice, maybe not. Fans, homophobic chants.
Oh, not cool.
Increased in the second half of the game to a point where the referee had to stop the game twice. Used a public address system to ask them to please stop. But that's not the part I really want to highlight. What I want to highlight is the club's captain, whoever it was, which you can Google it. It should be a fairly simple Google. I just forgot to write it down. The team that it happened. The club captain, who was a player actively playing, walks over and asks the referee for the microphone and directly addressed the ultras. And just told them to stop. Just like, we need to love everybody.
Right.
And it was a lot of players take to Instagram after the game.
Right.
Do that kind of stuff. Those
say
sorts
something
of things.
in the post presser, but not be like, hey,
He
guys,
walked
come
over
on.
to the referee and was like, let me try, essentially. And within a few seconds, they stopped. It was good.
Good.
And I want to highlight the fact that more footballers should stand up and do that in the moment.
See something, say something.
Exactly.
Very simple.
Stand up and do the right thing. You're there. You're the person of influence. I don't give a fuck about this referee. Nobody does.
No.
All of us hate them.
Yeah, pretty much.
All of us
Pretty
hate them.
much.
More, probably, than we hate the gays we're chanting about. You know what I'm saying? So just do more of that. Stand up and do it.
And
That was nice to see.
of course, congrats to Scotland. Who does he think he is? Pele? No, he is better than Pele as they score the third goal. Scottish commentary is the greatest fucking thing in the world. You should listen to Scottish commentary all the time. It will make your heart smile.
That's where we got the wee jobby comment.
It's-
The guy took a shit at halftime and was back late and told everyone, sorry, I was taking a shit.
The first goal, he was like, I haven't felt that good since, and mentioned one of the goals. I was like, you're doing a throw to fucking Train Spotting, you cheeky fucking bastard. I love you.
Oh, yeah. The Scottish commentary is awesome. You're absolutely right about that.
But the long distance goal where he's like, who does he think he is? Pele?
No, his
And as the
name is
ball-
Kieran Tierney.
And as the ball is going over in the air and floating down and going
Come
into
on.
the net, he's like, no, he's better than Pele! Just losing his mind. And it was...
I mean, what a week it was. Watching the Irish secure playoff against Hungary was brilliant. A Troy Parrott hat trick, and then obviously you've got the 3-2 against Denmark. It's just fucking amazing for Scotland.
Curacao in the World Cup for CONCACAF. Like,
We all hate FIFA and we hate this expanded World Cup idea. There's just more and more football. Everybody's just piling in. There's more and more to do. Player injuries, this, that, the other. But they know. They do this on purpose. They know.
yeah.
We're all going to watch Cape Verde's first game.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're going to get the TV money from it.
Yeah.
We're all going to watch Curaçao's first game because they're going to get the TV money from it.
Either
Like,
Jamaica or Suriname is going to get in. Like, they're playing each other in a playoff. One of them is going, like,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
It is great. And that's how they suck you in. That's how they get you. Because it's awesome.
All right. Next up is going to be DU Does EFL. And then, of course, after that, we will do Injury Time, where we check in on our adopted club, who happens to be Scottish. And we made the reference to Train Spotting to let you know who they are. Check in
They
on our
did a lot of
fantasy.
jobbies, usually in bed.
And then we preview, good throwback to
Thank
the
you.
movie.
To the movie, yeah.
And we preview the weekend's action. Should you want to support the show, Mr. Graham, how do you go about doing that?
Very easy, actually. It's at DU Football Show on all the social media, dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email. And through those mediums, you can then also sign up to our Patreon, which is what you actually asked me to do. Patreon.com/DU Football Show. Sign up to that $1 tier, and you get all the extra content Sam was just talking about.
You're lucky I wasn't listening to you. I wouldn't have noticed it at all. You could have just done it. I wouldn't have caught it. But anyways, next week programming note. Mr. Graham's going to be out for the next couple of Mondays as his eldest is getting knee surgery. So our good buddy Alan, are from Newcastle, the Mobtown Magpies, is going to be with us next
He's going
Monday.
to bully his way in here like his midfield does.
Yep. And then the following week, we will have Danny, our only Wolves supporter, will be here as well the following week. And, of course, there will be midweek games
He's
that
not
Thursday.
our only Wolves supporter. We got Paul.
He says one of 8 Wolves supporters in the Baltimore area.
That's true.
right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
And
Well,
haven't-
but Paul's not in Baltimore.
I ain't seen 7 others yet. Just saying.
Fair dues.
And of course, Thursday there will be midweek games, and that you and I will be doing over the internet. So starting to come thick and fast. Be ready for it, everybody.
It is the festive period.
Till next week.
Good night.